All right, our sermon text comes from 3 John chapter 1 today, and it's the whole book, but don't worry, it's like really short. It's only 15 verses, so here we go. The elder to the beloved Gaius, whom I love in truth. Beloved, I pray that all may go with you, and that you will be in good health, just as it is well with your soul. I was overjoyed when some of the friends arrived and testified to your faithfulness of the truth, namely how you walk in the truth. I have no greater joy than this, to hear my children are walking in the truth. Beloved, you do faithfully whatever you do for the friends, even though they are strangers to you. They had testified your love before the church. You will do well to send them on a manner worthy of God, for they began in their journey for the sake of Christ, accepting no support from the non-believers. Therefore, we ought to support people, so that we may become co-workers with the truth. I have written something to the church, but Diotrephes, who likes to put himself first, does not acknowledge our authority. So if I come, I will call attention to what he is doing and spreading false charges against us. And not content with those charges, he refuses to welcome the friends and even prevents those who want to do so and expels them from the church. Beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but imitate what is good. Whoever does good is from God, and whoever does evil has not seen God. Everyone has testified favorably about Demetrius, and so is the truth itself. We also testify for him, and you know our testimony is true. I have much to write to you, but I would rather not write with pen and ink. Instead, I hope to see you soon, and we will talk together face to face. Peace to you. The friends send their greetings. Greet the friends there, each by name. This is the word of the Lord.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Grace, peace, and mercy be with you on this day. Next week, we'll be back into the narrative lectionary starting in Genesis, so I get to wrap this series up for us. And it seems like we've been in 1st, 2nd, and now 3rd John for like a really long time now. Those who come to church every week or often, it seems like we've been hearing this theme of love one another over and over and over again. And some of you might be getting tired of the theme, but it's kind of good because I need the daily reminder. I need the daily reminder so much that I got love one another tattooed on my arm about a year ago. This love that we've been talking about this past few weeks is not the mushy-gushy type of romantic love, and it's not the Nat King Cole type of LOVE love, but the action of Christian love. It's been cool to go through this series because in each letter, the content gets just a little bit deeper. In 1 John, we saw that it has kind of a zoomed out effect. In 1 John, it's zoomed way out and it's targeting an entire church. And then in 2 John, we zoom in just a little bit more and it's speaking to a congregation or a small group of people. And then in 3 John, which is where we are now, it's really intimate and personal. It's zoomed way in. And it's a true conversation between two friends where one friend is encouraging the other friend. We get to hear from an author, from someone named the elder, and he's writing to a guy named Gaius. And in the letters, the elder commends Gaius for his hospitality that he's shown to all the traveling preachers of the gospel, even though they are strangers. The elder also warns Gaius of some opposition and false teachings by a man named Diotrephes. Diotrephes has not been doing well. He's not been welcoming the friends. He's not been welcoming the missionaries, which is his job. And he's been slandering the elder by using false charges and accusations that aren't true. The elder has written to these congregations, but Diotrephes has intercepted those letters and ignored his concerns. So, the elder likes to take a different approach. He enlists Gaius to take over the work of Diotrephes, and together they spread the good news of Jesus Christ. They work together for the truth. And this is the action of Christian love. Remember, it's not that mushy-gushy romantic stuff. My mom was really good at modeling the action of Christian love. And not only to my siblings and I or my family, but to all the people around her. She was a saint. One of my favorite things is to hear stories of people that people tell me of my mom helping each other or surprising them with an unexpected gift, which seemed to be her specialty. I'm going to pick on my younger brother just a little bit, and I don't think he's here, so that's good. When my younger brother was in 1st grade, he received an invitation to a birthday party. this birthday boy had sent out invitations to his entire class. And somewhere along the line, they decided to use some first grade logic, and none of them were going to go to this birthday party. I don't think they knew that there was going to be birthday cake, but I don't know. I would have never decided that. Anyway, they weren't going to go to this birthday party. So my brother decided to put his invitation in his take-home folder, thinking my mom wasn't going to find it. More first grade logic. Anyway, my mom found it, and she said, "Kyle, looks like you got an invitation to a birthday party. This is awesome." She was really excited about it, and Kyle said, "Yeah, but I'm not going to go to that." And I don't recall being around for this conversation, but I can hear it. And my mom said, "Oh, okay, well, it looks like there's a number for us to call," and she was pretty nonchalant about it. "And I'll let his mom know what we're going to do about this." Kyle was thinking, this is awesome. I'm off the hook. I don't have to go to this birthday party. But he was also kind of thinking, this is a little bit fishy. It seems like this should be a little bit harder to get out of something like this. And so my mom gets on the phone, and she's smiling, really pleased with her young son. And she said, "Hi, this is Natalie Steiger, and I just wanted to let you know that we got the invitation to the birthday party. And we are super excited to go. We can't wait, and we'll see you soon." And Kyle's jaw dropped, and my mom hung up the phone, and she just continued on with her day like nothing happened. This was a prime example of the action of Christian love. She didn't need to use words to tell Kyle that what he was doing was wrong, though she probably could have, and she wasn't mad about what his actions were. She just told us that it was wrong. They say that actions speak louder than words, and she often made that really evident to us throughout our entire childhood. These kinds of things happened all the time. This Christian example is what I got to grow up with, which is pretty awesome, and now I get to work in a place where I see people loving one another all the time. You might know the place. It's called Peace Lutheran. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. The action of Christian love is all over at Peace Lutheran. It's pretty contagious here, whether it's through the food pantry or welcoming new people and then breaking bread with those same people, or whether it's adopting teachers and helping them set up their classrooms, or making sandwiches for people that we don't even know, or doing all the other behind-the-scenes action that a lot of people don't get to hear about. It's an incredible community to be a part of, and I'm honored here to serve here with you. I mentioned earlier that Gaius and the elder took over the word of Diotrephes, and together they worked to share God's truth. Sometimes the elder couldn't be there in those times, but in those times he encouraged Gaius anyway, and he said, "Keep going. You're doing great. I'll be there with you soon. You are doing God's work." We are called to go out 2 by 2, just like Gaius and the elder were. We are called to share God's love, just like they did. And this is why we get to come to church each week. We gather with each other because this walk of faith isn't something that we can do alone. We need help. We need guidance and accountability. We need each other. And this is something that Jesus showed us from the very beginning parts of his ministry by calling the disciples to walk with him and then by calling us to walk with each other. We are active participants in Christian love. Some days, taking on the task of Christian love seems so easy. Those are the days where nothing is challenging you, no one's arguing with you, you've had your coffee in the morning and things are going smoothly. Other days, the mission of loving one another is really tough. And on those days, it's when we fall into God's love because of the support and guidance of others in our lives. So how can we keep up what we're already doing? And then how can we do a little bit more than that? And then how can we support others in their work of Christian love? This is about the time where Will makes a confession during his sermons. And I'm not sure if I signed up for that when I agreed to preach, but here's my confession anyway. I'm like super duper competitive. Like, it's ridiculous. And sometimes that can be really great, and sometimes that can hurt me a little bit. I'm so competitive that when I play games with my nieces, I never let them win. My nieces are 7, 5, and 2 years old. No way. I don't let them win. I'm so competitive that I've worked at Peace for like 4.5 years, and we have this foosball table downstairs, and every week the kids like to play this foosball game. And a couple months ago, I lost my first game of foosball. It's heartbreaking, and I haven't played since. I won't tell you how old the kids that I lost to were either. I'm so competitive that sometimes when I see people showing God's love, I think to myself, I bet I could do that better. Or we at Peace do that this way, and why does anybody want to do it differently than we do it? Instead of cheering on my brothers and sisters, I look at their way of Christian love as a competition, when it would probably be better to serve alongside them instead. Being the hands and feet of Jesus is really tough, and easy was never the promise. For me, it's easier to dismiss the acts of Christian love of others because I don't agree with them completely on everything. It's important for me to step back and remember these things. Jesus is the one that binds us together. We can work together in harmony even if we don't always agree with each other. Just as others go out for the sake of the gospel, using their gifts and their knowledge, proclaiming and living God's love, so do we. And we're called to support others while doing it. Together, we get to spread God's love story. This leads us into the key verse of this text, so I'm going to read it to you again. Beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but imitate what is good. Beloved, imitate God's truth. Imitate Gaius and the elder. Imitate what is good. Imitate others as they pick you up. Imitate the gospel, and imitate God's love. We are the chosen children of God. We are called to model the good. And the good is the love that's imitated to us and inspired by God. And I get to see so much good here at Peace. And believe it or not, I get to see a lot of good that happens in the world. And that doesn't mean that we're perfect, and that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of things that need to be fixed. I know that we still have a long road ahead of us. But let's keep it up, and let's encourage others to join in with us along the way, because there's plenty more to be done. There will be times that we stumble and fall, but it's important to have each other to pick each other up. We will acknowledge our faults and our failures, whatever they are, and continue on filled with the grace and love of God to keep going. We need each other to be a reminder of the good news of Jesus Christ. This is what we have to remember on the bad days, and this is what we need to practice on those good days. Just as 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John have that zoomed-in effect, so do we. All three lenses are really important. Zooming way in and going out 2 by 2 personally and intimately and spreading the truth as a congregation. Going out personally and intimately to share the good news 2 by 2. And then zooming way out a little bit more and spreading the truth as a congregation. And then zooming way out and proclaiming God's love to the world with all of our brothers and sisters in Christ. Let's go model the good and cheer on others as they do the same. Amen.